Hello, everyone, and welcome down to episode 173 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia, and the guy on your other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the show. It's Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Cam. Good to be back in the studios.
Yes, it is nice to be back in the warmth of the studio without people crashing in and halfway through our podcast. And well, that may still happen, but yeah, it's nice to be back at home in the office. And yeah, we're not next to each other this time. We're a good few hundred kilometers away now.
That's true, and it was. I have to apologise for the audio quality on the episode. It's safe to say that was cobbled together while we were out scouting Kangaroo Island, and the Wi-Fi that I had, there could have been one or two beers consumed while I was editing that as well. And the Wi-Fi that I had to upload was appalling. But hey, first world problems. At least we had Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we had Wi-Fi. I was on the couch watching the footy while you were working, so I had nothing to do with it. So nothing to do with me. So,
and it was a good game for you to watch too.
It was a good game. Hawthorn got up. Yeah, so far so good. It's not a footy show, but going all right so far.
Very, very big week for my mob as well. But anyway,
yeah.
It's not a footy show.
Yes.
Thank you for everyone who has followed the show, subscribed to this point in our journey. It's been loads of fun. Thanks for sharing it all around the place, inviting people to come and check us out. We know that we have picked up a few listeners thanks to Glyn's podcast over at Shutters Inc. Had a comment the other day that they've come on board. That guy, who's actually co-hosted the show twice.
Does anyone actually listen to that show? Obviously, one person does.
I think they've done 8.7 trillion episodes, so hopefully someone does.
With an average listenership of about 3. It's pretty good.
I have no idea. They probably get way more than we do, to be perfectly honest.
Hey,
yes.
What happened to the podcast between Matt Crummins and Tom Putt? What happened to that?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask them that.
It just fell off the face of the earth, that podcast.
Did.
Yeah. It wasn't good, but at least I was trying to be consistent. But now it's just disappeared. Yeah. Look,
I'll be honest. I didn't mind it. I didn't listen to it a
really?
lot. I got to also be honest. No, I think I only listened to it once because I was mentioned. So,
I think you're being very kind. It was if you looked up the definition of cringe, it would have an audio recording in the dictionary of one of their episodes in the first 10 minutes. But I'm glad I hope they're doing okay. I know Tom's okay, and Matt's been over in Africa doing some things, and Tom's been playing in the snow. But yeah, come on, guys, get an episode together. I need something to feel good about.
Newsflash: I'm enrolled in a Matt Crummins workshop.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In September, I'm doing his Cityscapes workshop in the first week of, is it second weekend of September or something like that? So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Well, I would suggest getting a bit of a fitness regime going before you go on it, because he won't stop all day.
Well, you saw me on Kangaroo Island. I think I need a fitness regime.
You saw us both on Kangaroo Island. Jesus.
We had
even the seals are looking at us.
Yeah, Mum.
Dad.
Now, speaking of seals, we're going to show some photos from our Kangaroo Island trip this episode. So if you are listening to the podcast on the audio channels, we will try and give you the 1,000 words for image, but that's probably not going to happen. So jump over onto our YouTube channel, look for Down South Photo Show on YouTube, and you'll be able to check out the photos that we're putting up as we go through. Hopefully I don't have any technical glitches at my end, which I probably will, because I'm in control of putting the images up on the screen. We'll see how we go as we work it out. But before all that, Cam,
as your face froze.
That's right.
You said that, didn't you?
Because of course it did.
Yes.
Before all that, our photo comp for August. We are now well into August, believe it or not. Would you like to remind our good listeners of what that comp is all about, please, Cameron?
Absolutely. This month's comp is about 3. 1, 2, 3. It's been running since pretty much the start of August. We have around about 30 entries at the moment. If you not sure about what 3 means, get on our Down South Photo Show Facebook page, go to the pinned post that's up there, and check out the images that are already up there. That'll give you a bit of an idea of what people are going with. I'm looking at a picture of 3 kookaburras, the 3 sisters, Sharon Shazbang Thorogood put up a picture of 3-ply toilet paper. I'm not sure why. I do know why. And 3 airplanes. So people picking up 3s and 3s. There's people being quite creative and inventive. But yes, go have a look. We have about 30 entries at the moment. There's some really good ones in there. And at the end of the month, we'll pick a winner, and that winner will get a present from me. And then the next month in September, we'll have our top 10 that goes on for you guys to vote who you'd like to win, who then gets a voucher from Brendan from his wonderful Ocean Grove camera and photo shop.
Indeed. So without any further ado, let's go into our photos of the week. Now, we've both chosen an image from our trip to Kangaroo Island. This is yours, a Cameron. Well,
that's mine.
The odds. Yeah, we're going to start with your photo of the week.
That's almost got 3. How. If I photoshopped that last bit of road out, that'd be 3 little ranges, wouldn't it?
And it'd be a solid entry too.
Yeah. So this was taken. We went down the very first night we got to Kangaroo Island. We went down to the Remarkable Rocks, which are quite remarkable, I must say. But as we were getting there and the sun was heading down, this is the road you come on. We both looked back and we thought, oh, that looks cool. The sun was sort of coming over the roads and just the waves of the road and the mountain, a bit of sea spray down in that sort of front left-hand side, create a bit of atmosphere. But it was a bit too easy to shoot this one with a long lens because it just looked like that out of camera pretty much. So, but it just gave a bit of a good indication of when to maybe use those longer lenses and landscape photography when you've got scenes that are miles away. You can actually sort of shoot quite long distances and still create something interesting. So it's a very cool road. It looks like, I think we said it, either you or I said it, it looks like something out of like Roadrunner and Coyote, where they lay the road down wherever they want and make it run into a rock. It's almost like, oh, we've got to get to the Remarkable Rocks. Let's just slap a road down and hope people make it there, which is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it was very cool because, and this will lead into our photos from KI, but we got there and it's like, let's just go for the big ticket item. Let's just get down to the Remarkable Rocks, which is, it could be argued there are a couple of other better spots on the island, but for standout photographic subject, the Remarkable Rocks are remarkable. Yeah. It's really cool. Like I still, and for those of you who have been there, you'll know what I mean. It's hard to fathom exactly how they're there. Like it's just like giant boulders of granite sitting on this headland, and it's not like anything I've seen before.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Really?
No.
Like what you see there. So I didn't know what to expect when we went there. I'd seen pictures of them. I'd seen some really nice pictures of them, and we got a good evening when we went there. But I was a bit blown away by just how big they were and just how random they are. Like the whole coastline's granite, and we get that. But you drive down that nice road there in the photo, and then you can see them from a distance. It looks like someone's just sprinkled like big bits of granite on the edge of the coastline and left them there. But they were quite spectacular. There was a lot of people there when we were there, wasn't there, Brendan? It's like we were fighting people.
It was madness. We're actually lucky. We're actually lucky to get a car park, weren't we?
Well, yeah, that's right. We could have almost parked back down this road because we had all of 2 people there. It was ridiculously busy.
And then they left.
and then that's right, and then they buggered off. So it was even better. So things like that do make the trips a lot better when you get to a really popular place and it's not busy. And I suspect that when we do our trip next year, we're going to have similar sort of conditions. The same time of year. It's not school holidays. It's a little bit quieter. It's the winter season, so people generally don't go away too much on the winter as well. But yeah, it was really cool. Really, they are like whoever named them. Like, let's be honest, they didn't get too creative.
Well, without wanting to trip myself up, I'm just going to throw another one of yours straight up because it's that one. Now when that is the classic angle of the Remarkable Rocks that you've seen in all the brochures and you've seen on all the websites.
Yes.
What that image I don't think portrays well enough is just how bloody windy it was when we were there because she was blowing a gale.
It was blowing a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It's got a lot of cool things going for it, that place, and that was definitely one of the spots we really enjoyed. But yeah, it wasn't the only place, but it was a very good way to start off. And you're right, that's that classic shot of them right there. And I that shot of you, I purely just for scale, just to say, right, well, this is how big the bloody things are. So you can actually see that, right, he's a full-size photographer, more than some, but it's a full-size photographer, and you can see just how big he is against that landscape. So it really gives you a bit of an idea of just how big they are. So
yeah, and the thing that just blows you away, the texture of the rocks is fantastic, and I really do think it's a sunrise sunset location. I don't think you want direct shadows and harsh light in the middle of the day that we would have got if we went. We didn't go there during the middle of the day on this trip, and we don't intend to on the tour either. But I think it's definitely sunrise, sunset when it's catching the lichen, the red lichen that you can see there, catching the light, and it was pretty awesome. I'd been there 15 years ago, but I had little kids with me then, and it's amazing the attention that you have to give to your kids when they're small in a spot like this. Because beyond the rocks, just past where I'm taking these photos here, that starts to basically roll down the rock into the ocean. From a great height. So when I had like a then 2 and 4 year old, I sort of probably had more attention on them rather than the photography. But this time around, I think we got there a solid maybe 90 minutes before sunset, didn't we? And we were able to really take it in. And as Cam alluded to, we were literally the only people there, which blows my mind. This is one of Australia's iconic locations for photography. We had the whole joint to ourselves. We were so lucky. It was brilliant.
Yeah, we're saying that now. Wait till we get there next year. There'll be like hordes of people and busloads, but I doubt it. But yeah, it was weird having that whole place to ourselves. And like I said, I expected at least a dozen people there on sunset. Any given night of the week, you'd think there'd be people there taking photos. But when we got there, like you said, there was a little four people were leaving as we got there. And then there was the couple that were there, and they walked off and took off just before the sun went down. And we literally had, for the last half an hour, we had the place to ourselves. It was amazing.
Yeah, so we had that sort of scenery to ourselves. It was kind of interesting because the sunset actually started to kick off, but we had those low clouds there. And I don't know about you, Cam, but I love the high cloud stuff because it always tends to linger a lot longer. And this color is only going to last for 5 minutes, and that's really all we got. So it was a bit of it was like, oh, is this going to actually happen? And then you're looking towards the sunset, then looking at the rocks and trying to position yourself. Is the light on the rocks going to be better than the sunset behind the rocks? So there was a bit of, I think I walked 3 laps of that thing, Cam. Well, and you did as well. We were sort of crossing paths every now and then, weren't we?
It was funny because you'd be at one end of the rocks and I'd come out from behind a rock and go, oh, there you are. And then we'd just keep rolling. It was like we're both rotating around like that. So you're right. The sunset was good, and it had a few moments where it sort of kicked off and then backed off and then kicked off and stuff like that. But morning or afternoon, you could get some stunning shots there. Yes, they've been done before, but they haven't been done by you if you're there with us. So that's definitely one of those places in Australia you need to tick off, I reckon. Like the Remarkable Rocks, Kangaroo Island, it's up there. It's up there with those, it's up there with Wineglass Bay and Tassie, or it's up there with, whatever it might be in Queensland, or, it's not as big as Uluru, but it might be, something similar like Kings Canyon or something like that. Some of those places. I wouldn't say it's a B list of places, but it's a A- place. Maybe.
Well, I think what it is for me is it feels like Kangaroo Island feels like a rite of passage for Australian landscape photographers. Like it's a place where Aussie photographers should get to if they can. And if you're coming from overseas, and shout out to our overseas audience as well, Kangaroo Island is about 90 minutes south of Adelaide. It's not an easy place to get to. I mean, it's a big island, so you need your own transport preferably as well. So there's a few sort of roadblocks, like the ferry is frightfully expensive.
Especially those 4 centimeters.
That was outrageous. We hired a car, by the way, and I'm happy to know LDV are a heap of shit. Don't. What a vehicle.
Can I go one better than that? The LDV car was a bucket of shit, bargain car rentals are eating that same shit.
That's right. They can get in the bin as well.
They charged you a cleaning fee because we've been off road. We said, well, we've just been on Kangaroo Island. Well, there's a bit of mud underneath. We're gonna have to clean that. That's an extra $58. So budget car rental, you can kiss behinds and eat a bag of those things. But that LDV car, boy, that was God. It felt like that was not road. It
felt like it was made out of Meccano.
It was shit. There's no other words. Like, you could say it was a bad car, poorly designed. No, it was just shit. Yeah,
it was horrible. Don't ever rent one of those. Anyway, that's another story. But
don't buy one. Don't rent one. Don't buy one.
No, true. Where I was getting at with that story was, it's a place. Kangaroo Island's a place you need at least 3 or 4 days on the island. So it's not like, in some cases like the 12 Apostles, you can do a day trip out of Melbourne for that. Even places like Sydney Harbour and all that sort of stuff, which are iconic photographic locations for international visitors. Kangaroo Island ain't the same. You got to get down there. You got to get accommodation. You got to have a car. You got to stay there. You got to get sunrises, get sunsets, get to these locations. So, So let's the absolute, for me, the absolute highlight of the island is the wildlife. These guys were absolutely phenomenal. The access that we had,
even the wildlife you drove past.
What was that?
The eagles.
Oh man! See, this is typical, isn't it? No. This is a story, because we were first night, so we were heading down to Remarkable Rocks, and on our list for wildlife to shoot was wedge-tailed eagles, and of course, on our way to Remarkable Rocks, we had to get there for sunset, so we were a little bit time poor, wanted to get there and get the shots. We drive past 2 wedge-tailed eagles that would have made absolutely brilliant shots. So what do we say? Well, I said, guilty as charged, I said, well, they're right there. I mean, clearly we're going to see plenty of wedge-tailed eagles here.
That's right.
We're here for 4 days. Come on. That was it. Never saw another one. Hey, that's what happens.
Anyway. These little guys made up for it, didn't they?
Labradors of the sea, getting back to these guys. So this was at Seal Bay, which is, how did they come up with the name? Amazing, like so clever.
Well, really. It's a bit like the Remarkable Rocks. Wow.
What you see is what you get on Kangaroo Island.
and Kangaroo Island. Like, why did they call it Kangaroo Island? Like, amazing. Those South really Australians, they're so switched on, those guys.
Yeah. But we went to Seal Bay, and we'll be taking people on our trip to Seal Bay as well, of course. And we just paid for you got to pay at Seal Bay, which I kind of get, because the money they do pour into conservation, it's a haven for seals. You can't fish there. You can't fly a drone there. You can't surf there. There's no access for humans. There's an exclusion zone around Seal Bay, which I think is fantastic. But they have a boardwalk, and you can walk down literally above the seals as they're lazing around in the sand dunes. And Cam, how many seals do you reckon we saw? 30-ish, something like that?
Yeah, I would say it was 30 or 40, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's really only like the whole region of Seal Bay where you can access. It'd be no bigger than a MCG. Like, it's pretty small area where it is. The ground size, like for that, there's seals everywhere. And they were coming in and out of the ocean, so we probably saw 50 different sets of seals, but out they go and in they come.
Yeah. So for those of you who want to know, I shot this with the Tamron 150-500. Yeah, 150-500 on the new Nikon Z5 Mark II, which we'll talk a bit more about later on. Maximum zoom on this guy. But, I mean, I used maximum zoom, but this guy was only probably, I want to say 10, 15 meters away, if that, straight from the boardwalk as he was coming up the sand dunes. Not long been out in the water, as you can see, still pretty wet. And if you look very closely in his eye, you can see a reflection of the boardwalk that we're standing on. Nice. So you see just how close we got there. So yeah, very, very cool. I couldn't get, well, you and I both, we couldn't get enough of it, because you don't get that kind of access to seals just anywhere. You mentioned Bruny Island. When we're on the cruise at Bruny Island, you do, but you're on a moving boat, and that can be tricky.
Yeah.
Here, it's fish in a barrel. Like, you just take your pick, and surprise, surprise, I did like 1,000 frames because it wasn't hard.
Yes, you you shot a lot of frames there, didn't you? You went a little bit crazy there. You went,
well,
oh my God,
I had my
right
new
at
toy.
my
And I wanted to see what it was capable of, and I found out it's pretty capable. I was happy. I was pretty happy with it. So,
you found out that it can fill up memory cards real quick.
did I? What? Yeah. I did. Actually, I think that day wasn't too bad. It was the next day when I forgot to get rid of all my seal photos and dump them onto my hard drive. That's when I was having trouble.
And of course, you had that spare memory card in your bag, ready to go. The break open, and
certainly did.
There you go.
That's how I roll. That's just how I roll. Can I throw up some more wildlife of yours, Cameron?
Yeah, sure thing. I sent you a few more on Facebook message.
Thank you. I want you to,
if you run out.
If you don't mind, this next shot, it's this one. Can you walk people through this shot like bit by bit? Because what a cracker.
There's not, how much do you want me to crap on?
Well,
so
I just think it's a great shot.
No, we were down. We had one sunset where we're like, oh, we're sort of at the wrong end of the island because we're doing some other things, but it's good to be up here because we can look at other options for sunrises and sunsets and stuff like that. So we went down to Reeves, I think it was Reeves Bay or Reeves Park out of Kingscote.
Yeah, Reeves Park, I think it's called. Yeah,
Reeves Park. So just around the corner from there, and we had a nice little sunset going on. We had some nice little boats and a jetty, and lots of seagulls and other pelicans and stuff hanging around. So this one really was surprisingly quite easy. I know I'm sort of underplaying it a bit, but we had this big gull. He was sitting on like a big, I don't even know what it was, like a billboard, or it might have been one of those fishing guides.
I think it was like the emergency warning sign or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It was just on a box there, and I only had a 70 to 200 on me for that trip, so it wasn't taken with anything big. So he was relatively close, but he kept looking out to the sunset where we were looking. So he's looking out to the sunset, and I took a couple of shots of him, maybe 2 or 3 before this, but I just noticed that if he looks the right way, he's going to get that glint in his eye of the sunset. So I literally just waited. You asked if I'd used any bird tracking or any eye tracking or anything like that. This was taken on the Leica SL3, which has some sort of animal detect, but I just had it on single spot focusing, and I just lined that up on his eye and pressed a button. And I think the light and the conditions pretty much did most of the work there because it was perfect lighting.
Yeah.
And he just happens to have a nice little glint in his eye. So
yeah, it looks for all the world like a studio shot.
Yeah. He's all, but that's the thing. Like that's something that people maybe don't realize is that, we do landscape photography when we're looking for that really nice light. As Glenn Lavender can attest, just find the light and put people in it. And that's what pretty much did here. Found this gull, or he found us, and it's just a matter of waiting for him. They were looking around for a feed. It was just a matter of him looking in the right direction out towards that sunset. And I could see his eye was going to sort of light up. And then I think I shot that at f2.8 on his eye, and he's probably a bit soft on the beak. He's probably a bit soft on the front side, but it sort of blurred out the background, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was so cool because we hadn't really planned to go to that spot either to shoot the sunset, but I'm glad this is at Kingscote, which is the main town on Kangaroo Island. But while we were scouting, because that's what we were there for, I managed to get this one here. Look, it's classic. It's cliched to bits, but geez, I love this photo. Like I'm really happy with it. It's it's got the classic intersecting lines. There was a bit of a mood in the atmosphere. Like there was some storm clouds coming across, and we were sort of getting a bit excited about maybe finding a sunset. So there was a bit of anticipation in the air as well. And then there was just this solitary boat that just kicking back out to sea. Just making a really simple composition. So again, big zoom. Look, I got asked today by one of the people coming to Tasmania with us tomorrow whether they should take their 150 to 600, and it was just like, are you kidding? Are you even asking me that? Like, this is why I love exploding the lens myth. So for example, and I'll mention Mr. Lavender again. He said there's no such thing as a portrait lens. So when he runs his portrait workshop, people think, I'll take a portrait lens. What's a portrait lens? Or a 50mm f1.8. Like everyone thinks it's marketed as a portrait lens, but it's anything but. Whereas you look at a 150 to 600, a big zoom, is that a landscape lens? Well, it's not marketed as a wide angle landscape lens, but that's the kind of stuff that it yields. So I
yeah.
love shooting big zoom landscapes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I would say I'm 50-50 these days. I'm either shooting wide angle or I'm shooting long, 200 mil, 300 mil, whatever it might be. Because there's so many moments that happen in the landscape that you just can't really pick up when it's in a wide angle shot. Like, you take this shot at wide angle. Yes, you'll have the boat. Yes, you'll have that storm going on behind, but you'll also have kilometers of other scenery that just really take away from this. So, always take your longer lens with you. We did the same. We had a Zoom meeting the other night for our Scotland trip we're doing next month. And same thing, these lenses, I would say take a wide angle lens, and I would also take a zoom lens that gets you maybe 200 or 300 mil. And the rest of it in the middle, you probably won't use much, but it'll just give you some options. If you can't get to a spot, or, you can't get any closer to this boat unless you're Jesus and you can walk on water. So you've got to use a longer lens. It's the only way you can do it. So,
yeah. And to that end, how many times, Cam, were we driving down a road and just wanted to take a photo of the road?
Yes, almost every morning, every afternoon, we ended up doing that, didn't we? It was just like, right, here's a road stop. Here's a road stop. This road was quite entertaining. This was the road to the Duck Pond section. Duck Lagoon. But it was a bit, we tried to go there in the morning and it was just a bit washed out, and we didn't trust the LDV, did we? And rightly so, because it was a bucket of shit. It was a bucket of shit. So we didn't trust it, but we went back in the late afternoon and got the same road, but there was a lot of water on the way there behind us. But we both stopped for this one. This is a no-brainer. It's just a big vanishing line, big vanishing point, and a bit of light coming in from the right. These trees, every dirt road, pretty much all the ones we went down had something similar to this in one shape or form. So we both stopped and got a snap of that. And again, it was pretty straightforward shot. Again, using a long lens. Like, this is actually shot maybe at 200 mil from a long way back down the road. This road's got a long stretch of it. So using that sort of compression of the long lens helps sort of draw your eye. I like to shoot these shots at still a shallow depth of field. So I'm shooting at f2.8, but I'm shooting down about halfway. I actually don't mind the foreground being blurred in the trees. It draws your eye down to the sharpness a bit more. So again, my longer lenses that I use, I very rarely take it off 2.8 or f4. I'm looking for that depth of field, that compression, and using that focal point to really draw the eye for the person looking.
Yeah, I mean, and these roads were endless. And we had opportunity basically as soon as we got off the ferry. We saw that road. I mean, there was sealed roads, there was dirt roads, and how cool was it as we were going from place to place? We'd come across these roads in, as you mentioned, in all the different lights. Like, that's what I found really cool, and I'm optimistic and hopeful that that'll happen when we're on the tour as well. We'll get an opportunity to shoot one or two of these in the golden light, so you can see on the right hand side of this shot. It's better lit. It was, the sun was out to the right, but you can imagine that at golden hour, like all that lighting up like a golden tunnel. So I'm
an early morning about that. Early morning with a bit of fog or something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be moody, and which we like a bit of mood. So these roads were really, really cool all around the place. Let's chuck up another one. Should I put up another seal photo? Why not? This was also at Seal Bay.
Have you only shown seal shots? Oh, you got one, Remarkable Rocks. That's okay.
Don't worry, I've got another seal one up my sleeve after this one as well. But I mean,
this is you coming out of the shower, isn't it?
Pretty much. It was cool because here we were in a fantastic new location to both of us, shooting subjects we don't normally get to shoot, both with new toys. I think that was almost a perfect storm for me, and that's why I ended up doing so many frames. But a frame like this only literally happened for this split second, because the seals, although they get in and out of the water pretty quickly, they don't linger in the wave breaking zone very long. It's almost like they're vulnerable there, so they bail and get up out of the breakers. They're either in the ocean swimming or they're out. So to get a wave sort of breaking over a seal like this was pretty cool. I just wanted to try out, the super high shutter speed. I think this was 1/2000th of a second. I love this kind of photography when I shoot surf in particular, but getting a seal doing that was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's some good moments where you're right, they were in and out pretty quick, and I would be too with these great white sharks hanging around off the coast there. I'd be getting my ass out of the water pretty quick as well. But that would have been
cool. We didn't see any sharks
eating a seal.
We're not eating a seal, Cameron. Don't be grotesque.
So how cute was those little baby ones? Those cute baby ones.
Well.
Yes. What I found was really cool at that Seal Bay spot was just watching evolution, or how animals are made and how they're built and how we're built. We're built to survive and thrive in our environments, and these guys are built for swimming. They're built for speed when they get in the water. They're built for getting around. Like even though getting down to they were just rolling. Like they just took the complete fat man approach and went, I can't be bothered walking down the sand dune. I'm just going to roll down, and it works. But I thought it was really amazing just watching how the seals behave and the I guess the tools they have to do what they do. They got the flippers and their seal fur, obviously slicks back in the water, and they got the whiskers to see what's going on. Like they're an amazing creature, but it was a really good opportunity to sit there and just study what they do. Like there was quite a lot of babies and mothers, and the babies were suckling and things like that. Even one moment I noticed one of the mothers was trying to get down to the beach, and she was rolling, but she'd roll over and have the teats hanging out. So the baby would come down and drink more, and then she'd roll a bit further and the baby would drink more. Like that stuff really intrigues me, how it all works, but it was very cool.
It was fascinating, wasn't it? Right? And as you say, watching them sort of lay on the top of the sand dune, stretch out, and then all of a sudden they're just rolling down, just using gravity to their advantage to get down to the sand. It was pretty funny. You mentioned the baby seals. Now, this shot here, which you may have to get close to your screen, people, but there is a baby seal right in the sort of you can see the bird on the rock. If you look just south of him, you can see in the shadows there's a little baby seal. This is one of Cam's shots at Admiral's Arch. Now, what was your first impressions when you came around that corner, Cam, and saw Admiral's Arch?
I'm like, Jesus, look at the crowd. How are we going to run a workshop here?
Once again, that's right. We were the only people there.
We were the only people there at one of the probably top 3 attractions of Kangaroo Island. It was amazing. That was I came around the corner and instantly got ideas in my head, instantly compositions, instantly could see the color tones of the rocks and the waves crashing and the sort of stormy clouds out the back. I instantly sort of got this sort of shot in my mind, like that sort of side shot of a cave and with the coastline running there. And then we realized there was seals hanging around there. I'm like, well, hang on a sec. I've got to take photos of seals as well as this. But an amazing spot. We got lucky a bit with the rain. We got wet on the way down. And then we were sort of out of the rain a bit where this was. So that gave us a bit of a reprieve to be able to change lenses and not get soaked. But yeah, we had the place for about 45 minutes to ourselves. And then another couple came down from Gympie. They were from Gympie,
they were from Gympie, from Shaz Banger's neck of the woods.
Shaz Bang's neck of the woods. They didn't know Shaz Bang, which is unusual because I would have thought everyone knows Shaz Bang and Gympie. But
I thought she was the mayoress of Gympie.
Mayoress of Gympie. I don't know, she might be. But yeah, again, just a remarkable place. And this shot does not give any scale to the size of that arch that's there. So it's 4 times, 5 times bigger than what that photo is. It's quite impressive.
Yeah. And that baby seal that you can see there put on a bit of a show for us. So he sort of scurried out from underneath the platform, and I was basically just tracking him with my lens the whole way as he was coming out. And the only thing that didn't annoy me, I mean, it was amazing, but there was a shot I wanted of just this baby seal looking straight down the lens, because baby seals have gigantic eyes.
They do.
And they make fantastic. And as you can see, I've just got a bit of a side profile of him here. But it was really good, actually, because the light was so challenging. It was dark in there with highlights pouring in behind us and out to sea as well. And I think you made the comment straight away, this is our sunset spot.
Okay, yeah. This, like, if that's going to point the right direction, it could be really, really nice shooting through that arch. With the sun setting out the back, maybe not directly looking at the sun. It might be a bit side light, but it'll make a nice shot, I think. Even sunrise or early morning if it comes over the back, but I think sunset might be an option for us. Yeah,
and we sort of coined the phrase while we were there, Wildlife Wednesday. It was happened to be a Wednesday when we were there, and I was like, well, if we can incorporate Duck Lagoon and Seal Bay and maybe even Vivon Bay into a day, which is just famous for its wildlife, all those 3 spots. Well, there's our Wildlife Wednesday. So those of you who are lucky enough to book a spot on the Kangaroo Island trip next year,
why would they be lucky? Is there no spots left?
Phenomenal. Probably the fastest workshop we've ever sold out, Cam. So, well, it is
sold out before it was practically sold out before we got off Kangaroo Island.
Yeah, which was thank you to everyone who's booked a spot. So humbled by that. That's really cool. We can't wait to show it off to you guys. We went scouting it for a reason. We wanted to see these spots for ourselves, work out whether it was actually worth running a tour there. And of course it is. But for those of you who may not have a big Zoom and are coming on the trip, you've got 12 months to save for one. So, or hire one, borrow one, whatever. You've got to have a big lens when you go to KI.
Or if you haven't got 12 months to get one, you've got 24 months to get one, because we will, at some stage in the show, maybe not, we'll announce it after we do our photos, but we're going to do a 2027 tour to there. Yes, 2027 sounds ridiculous. Just to give you a bit of an idea, I'm starting to book in almost 2028 for my workshops. People are well ahead of us in regards to their organization skills. So there will be another one in 2027. There is a wait list for 2026, but I'm pretty sure everyone that's there is not pulling out of this one. But if you missed out on 2026, there will be one in 2027. And I would highly recommend chucking a deposit down to lock your spot in for that, because you don't want to get disappointed and you don't get to go there. We might not do 2028 and you miss all the fun.
Yeah, that's right. Remarkable that we're able to sell that out when we did. So again, thank you to everyone who's booked a spot, but also it was so cool because we went to the accommodation. We went to where we're going to be staying, which we'll do, I guess. It was pretty cool. We got to check out the ferry. We got to check out all the places where we're going to be able to eat and things like that. One thing that was very sad about 4 years ago was the big fires that happened on Kangaroo Island. I'm very happy to report that the recovery is in full swing. In fact, if you didn't know about the fires, you probably would be forgiven for not even realizing that there was a pretty catastrophic fire on Kangaroo Island about 4 or 5 years ago that leveled a lot of the national park. All of the infrastructure in the national park was torched, all the parks offices, all the accommodation that was there. So everything that is there now is brand spanking new. And how impressive, Cam, was the visitor centre?
Yeah, the visitor centre it smelt new. It's only been open a couple of weeks, I think. But I wouldn't have known. Like, we saw a couple of little burnt out sections, well, not burnt out, just dead tree type of things, but everything was regrowing, and you wouldn't know there'd been a massive fire gone through there. But it was pretty cool to be able to see that it's all recovered. But all the infrastructure is good, all the platforms are good, all the boardwalks are really good. It's nice and easy to get around. There's a couple of steps here and there, but it wasn't anything out of control, which makes it a bit easier to run trips there as well. So who's this guy?
So this is one of your shots, Cam. Was this with the big white Olympus?
Yes, I believe it was.
Yeah, nice.
Or maybe it was.
So we found it was funny because I got tipped off about Duck Lagoon from a client of mine. Shout out to Dawn, who watches the show. And she said when they were there in November, she literally used the phrase thousands of koalas. This was the only koala we saw for the entire trip. And we might have got him from a few different angles actually too. But so whether or not they just moved on from that area at that time of year, I'm assuming that's the case. It might be a breeding area or something like that. But it was very cool to see a koala at least.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to make a big call here. Big call.
Go on.
This koala was better than the other koala on the Great Ocean Road, I reckon.
This one looks
fresher. He looks more like a koala. Yeah, he's had a shower and had a shave, and he's not hungover full of chlamydia, I don't think. He looks pretty good. Where the one on the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah.
Well, they were just hanging on for dear life, I think, because that wind was so strong on the tree.
Yeah, it was really windy, wasn't it? So they were sort of sheltering themselves and hunkered down, whereas this guy was like kicking back. The sun came out, got those big fluffy ears kicking on. So that's right. He was having a great time. Couple more images to show you. This was I'm going to get this wrong. Red Bank. Red Bank.
Yep.
Yeah. Red Bank. We were kind of tipped off. We were, as you say, when you're on the island, you want to try and get to as many places as you possibly can to give ourselves options.
Yeah.
And we saw this, and we were a bit iffy about going there. Geez, I'm glad we did. It was
a good spot
for two reasons. One, it's a great spot. Two, we got the color. Like the sunset came and lit the whole joint up, and then the color just lingered into blue hour. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's also with the Z5 II, but this time using an actual landscape lens, which is that one right there. That's the Tamron 16 to 30 f2.8. That was good fun. I enjoyed that. I used a ND filter, variable ND filter on the front to slow things down a bit and could have waited a bit longer and got a bit darker, but I don't know if the color would have been any better as the night went on. The full moon came out as well, so that was pretty cool.
It did. Now, I had an email from the South Australian Department of Water Affairs and Environmental things. They want to know how your feet are, if your feet have grown any extra toes or anything from, because you stood in the water to take a photo a bit before this, which we got. I think I shared a video, I posted a picture of you online. But there's obviously a bit of an algae problem going on around South Australia at the moment.
There is,
and
there is.
They are recommending you that you don't go in the water, but not you. Yeah. You went in, and
there was also a great big sign at Zion National Park in the States saying not to go in the water, and I actually didn't even see that sign and just swam
and went,
and got completely submerged in that water. And I think,
took a mouthful, everything.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I mean, that's getting on to 12 months. Well, it's 9-10 months later, and I'm still here. So I think the algal water hadn't reached Kangaroo Island, so I was okay there.
Yeah. So where are you going to get poisoned next? What's your next trip? That Tarkine.
That's right.
We could put you into the sinkhole. That'll be fine.
All right, I'm in. We'll go in there. Just in case you hadn't seen the remarkable rocks enough. There's another one of yours, Cam.
Yeah. That's again just there's so many of the variances that you can shoot at these rocks. Like you could easily spend a couple of hours just doing laps like we did of finding different compositions and different angles and different time of days and different light and things like that. So, made for a really good spot to take lots of shots at. So, and the granite works really well. It had some scars.
They look like petrified kangaroo prints.
I actually think they're dinosaur prints, to be perfectly honest. But
how silly of me. Of course they are.
Yeah. So, I think it was a Do you think he saw us? So yeah, it's got lots of great spots, and it must have been like Kangaroo Island's great, but their naming's pretty boring. Come on, like they're remarkable, and
they are.
That there's nothing else you can really say.
We hunted a bit for this location as well. We knew it was there. I was tipped off by my client, and you also found it. We found it on Google Maps, but we got there in the dark. And it's safe to say that we weren't quite sure on how to access it. And then we found the easiest possible access to it in the world. So this is the old jetty ruins at Kingscote. And we got there for the sunrise. It was cool. It was really cool spot. I enjoyed shooting there. We got a bit of a show for sunrise. It wasn't too bad, as you can see.
Yeah.
So it was good fun there.
It was funny though, wasn't it? Like we thought, we can see them. Let's put our brains together as two middle-aged smart men and find the hardest way to get them. And then we realized if you just park the car and walk 150 meters down the beach, they're pretty much there. So this one's a great spot. We did discuss about this for the group, whether or not we can make this work. It's quite a tight little spot. So something else you sort of consider when you're putting on workshops and stuff is the locations you take the group. If you've got 6, 7, 8, 9 people, it's really hard to sometimes get people in the right spot. And that's not what we're about. We're about getting people in the right spot at the right time. So this might be a bit of an optional sunrise for those who want to get up early or not sleep in, or we might take it, half the group there for a sunrise, the other half for a sunset or something like that, just so everyone gets a good bite of the cherry there. So, but it's a cool spot.
Yeah, because those two, well, as you can see, the jetty goes out. Like once you get down towards the end of those posts, it's basically literally standing room only. I could only just fit between those posts, me. So you're not going to get. It's one of those things where if the sunrise or sunset, depending on when we're there, if it kicks off, there's only really going to be room for one. So it might be a bit of a and it's going to be me. So
I was going to say we could open it up to like bidding, like whoever's got the most cash on them.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Well, we'll start the bidding at 1 6-pack. That sounds good. And look, just to finish up showing off Kangaroo Island, I might put up a photo of a seal.
Have you got photos of seals? No. Was there seals?
Talk about studio lighting. Have a look at that. I actually took that photo and sent it to Glyn straight away because he's saying is find the light and put him in it, and this was find the light and wait for a seal to fall asleep in it. It was awesome. I think this is some kind of juvenile. I'm not sure. It looked sort of a teenager. Absolutely exhausted. Just not a care in the world. Like I think it opened its eyes once and sort of looked in our general direction and went, yeah, whatever, and went back to sleep. It was great because you could shoot top down on this guy because he was below the boardwalk. This is at Admiral's Arch, and then if you wandered down Admiral's Arch down the stairs, you could shoot straight at him. As we did here. Right. So, that was a lot of fun. The seals were definitely the star of the show, and all the wildlife on Kangaroo Island was as well.
Yeah, except the eagles.
Except the eagles, but that's
hey. Right, speaking of eagles, was there any other eagles on the trip on the island, like or birdies or eagles or albatross or anything like that?
We did get a few wrens. I remember rightly.
Wrens, did we?
Yeah. There was. I don't think there was another eagle. There wasn't even another birdie, was there?
I don't think there was. There would have been a birdie somewhere.
Cam's talking about our round of golf that we had, and he's only bringing it up because he won.
Yeah, what's the score now? It's like 4-1 or something, isn't it? It's 4.5 to 1.5. It doesn't matter.
I like giving you I'm not a front runner. I've said this before. I like to make a charge. And I still can't believe you didn't put that shot of mine up on. But anyway, that's fine. I'll let it go.
I haven't edited that yet. It was an amazing.
You don't need to.
Shot.
That's fine.
No, okay. It's fine. We won't show.
That was Kangaroo Island. I hope you enjoyed the photos. Comment below what was your favorite, or if you'd like to see more, because we've got oodles more shots that we shot down there. So it was great fun. And once again, thanks for the people that have booked into the tour and the 2027 version of Kangaroo Island. Cam, can people book for that?
They can 100% put a deposit down and get their spot. 2027 is June 15th to 19th. If you go to www.dsps.com.au, look in the workshop section. It's there. It's open. It's ready for bookings. You need to put a deposit down. The balance isn't due until around about March, April of 2027. So you got truckloads of time to save up or put your pennies aside. But it will sell out. We're only going to take 8 people again. So if you do want to come along in 2027, lock it in, send your deposit, and we will get you on there on 2027.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be great. So I know there's a couple of people, one in particular, who will jump straight onto that. Now, this goes to air 5 o'clock on a Friday. 5 o'clock this Friday, Cameron, you and myself should be shoulder to shoulder at the edge of the world down in the beautiful Tarkine in Tasmania. So hopefully we're there right now as this is going to air, shooting a lovely sunset with our guests who are with us for the Tarkine Crater Mountain trip.
Probably holding on to for our lives if the weather predicts, which if it is wild, that's where you want to be, in the edge of the world Tarkine on a wild afternoon, because it gets crazy wild but amazing photos. So we're off there. You're down here tomorrow, aren't you?
Tomorrow, which is yesterday, as this goes to air.
Yesterday, and then we're off on today, Friday, up to the Tarkine, pick our guests up, and away we go. And so we've got 3 days in the Tarkine and 3 days at Cradle Mountain. There could be a bit of snow around in Cradle Mountain. If we're lucky, there might be a bit left over.
Fingers crossed.
We never know. Which reminds me, I probably should pack some warmer layers because it might be a bit chilly up there. So looking forward to that. We had a lot of fun last year. Last year we got the Aurora. Do you remember that? We got the Aurora over Cradle Mountain.
We do. There was some of the greatest photos I've ever taken were over Cradle Mountain at Aurora time. That was mint.
Yeah, we won't promise that again because we obviously can't do that. But looking forward to that. It's always good fun. And then does that finish off our 2025 year for workshops for the show?
I believe it for the joint ones that we run. Absolutely. It does. So, which has been awesome.
So we've done the Murray Mallee, we've done the Great Ocean Road,
we're doing
we've
scouted Kangaroo Island, and we're going to do Kangaroo Island Cradle.
And we didn't. Was there another one we did do, but we haven't? No, that's it.
No. So we have, unless there's one that we've forgotten about that people are waiting for us to pick them up at a bus stop or something. Whoops. No. No. Next year there'll be 4. There'll be Great Ocean Road. There'll be Kangaroo Island, of course.
Tarkine.
There'll be Tarkine and Cradle, and there'll be the brand new East Coast Tasmania.
That's right, the East Coast Tassie one, which is in March next year. Yeah, that'd be cool. Again, it's funny. I've had a few people ask me about the East Coast of Tassie and thinking of coming along or wanting to get some ideas about when we do workshops there. So, yeah, if you're available in March, come down. More red rocks, more lichen, more amazing beaches and coastal scenes. But what people don't realize up there on the East Coast is there's some really very, very good forests and waterfalls just inland about 45 minutes, which also we will visit. So it sort of ticks off all the boxes, coastal and rainforest, with us two clowns hosting you all the way.
Sounds good to me. And with ideas in mind, thank you for everyone who gave us feedback via our socials when I put a post up asking about what you might want to see more of on the Down South Photo Show. We'd love to hear that sort of stuff. We know, particularly of late, we've been pretty heavy on plugging our workshops and tours and stuff. That's only because it's workshop season for us at the moment. So that's where we are at the time. So that's why we like to post a lot about it. Yeah. So thank you for letting us indulge in that. But particularly as we now move out of that period and into some warmer weather, hopefully, we're looking to have some more guests on the show. We're also looking to maybe do a bit more sort of talk about gear and reviews and that sort of stuff. So keep the ideas coming, folks, and we will certainly see if we can help you out.
Well, we're just looking through the comments of what people said. A lot of people, there's a bit of an overwhelming, they want us to critique images, maybe theirs or ours, and also talk a bit more about editing and what we're using and what we're not using and things like that. More interviews, stuff like that, viewer stories. So yeah, a bit more of everything. So we're always looking to evolve this show. And like I said, now the season of workshops is sort of, for the show at least, is coming down to a bit of a pointy end. We can maybe spend a bit more time maybe getting some other things on here and having a bit of fun over the quieter moments.
Absolutely. And if you want to see more information about us, head to dsps.com.au, as Cam mentioned. What you can also do there, if you want, is buy us a beer. Cam, do we have some beer donations for the last couple of weeks since we were sort of didn't mention
do we what? We do. We had Lynn Deemer, who's coming to Scotland with me. She bought us a beer. Maybe she can keep that trend going. That'd be good while we're over in Scotland. Joseph, I think it's Joseph Smith, bought us a beer or two. Shazbang bought us a beer. Marion H bought us a beer. Jen C bought us a beer. And the one and only Mr. Mel H has also bought us a beer. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for those who are supporting the show with a beer and letting us play a bit of mini golf and have a couple of beers and whatnot along the way. Certainly helps. For example, we've set up a new email address too for our show, which we've done this week. Yeah, remember? So instead of sending your email to me, because I was the one that had to do it all, you can send it to contact@dsps.com.au, or any questions that come through the website will both go to both of us now, so we can get a bit of view on what you guys are wanting. But to do that costs money to have an email address going and having something dedicated directly to the show. So again, that's where that beer donation money does help. It helps us sort of make this show a bit more professional and get you guys to contact us directly and things like that. So drop us a line, send us any thoughts, comments, questions. If you want to send an image through to critique, send it through. We will be brutal. We should do that. Brutal critiquing.
In fact, let's just open that up. If you would like us to critique your image, there's the email address. Send it to contact@dsps.com.au. In the subject line, put image critique. We will choose one or two images. Maybe not next week because we might be a bit under the pump, but the week after, we'll do it.
Yeah, you heard it first here, folks. A new segment.
You love decisions on the fly, don't you?
Oh, amazing. Do we want to put any disclaimers in there? Like if you're made out of cotton wool, don't send them in. I'm sure the
right people will send in their image, Cam. If you think
you're an award-winning photographer, don't send them in. If you enter every single award competition that's available, don't send them in. If it's pictures of me or Brendan on a workshop, don't send them in. But send them in. Let's have it. We can definitely do some critiquing. It'd be fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be good fun. Okay, all right. So I think we've done pretty much everything. There's no Dear Cam this week, but if you've got a Dear Cam question, contact@dsps.com.au.
Actually, if someone can no one listens this far anyway, but if someone can actually just send us an email through that, I'd like to see if it works. It's working at the moment.
Oh, God. We're going to be in the Tarkine on Friday night, and our phones are going to light up with just all these emails. Here's one. Someone
sent us an email with something funny, like give us a giggle on Friday when this comes out. You're 50 minutes in. Send us an email. Do it right now. Get on there, contact@dsps.com.au, and we'll probably be at dinner eating, but having a laugh at your email.
Sure. So contact@dsps.com.au. Okay, that is it. That's the podcast. Anything more to add, Mr. Blake?
I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
That's right. Which is yesterday.
Thanks again. Yesterday. Thanks everyone for booking in the Kangaroo Island. Don't forget, 2027 is now there. Get on there and have a look, along with every other workshop they're running. Send us through your images. That's great. And make sure you get out and take some snaps with your cameras.
Sounds good to me. That is it. That's the podcast. This has been episode 173 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you for episode 174 sometime in the future. Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye, Cameron. Bye. See ya.